Welcome to 5 Minutes With. This month we're going to have a conversation with Allison Reid. Allison, tell us about your role in Wake County Public School System.
Well, I am very, very fortunate to get to lead a group of super talented and hardworking folks. My role is the Senior Director of Digital Learning and Libraries. My team covers libraries, instructional technology with the DLCs, the Digital Learning Coordinators, as well as our instructional support technicians, which are our ISTs in the schools. And so we actually fix the devices, and then we help the teachers with instructional help as well. In addition to that, we also manage all the digital resources in the district and do a whole lot of work with our learning management systems, including Canvas, Google Classroom, blended and personalized learning. We take care of technical writing. We run the Wake ID portal in terms of class link setup and those sorts of things. So I love my job. It's been a hard year, but the work that I've gotten to do with the people that I've got to work with has been really, really cool. So that's, in a nutshell, what we do.
Okay. What would you like teachers and staff to know about the Digital Learning and Libraries Department?
Oh gosh, that they are just an endless supply of really, really great support and knowledge. I wish people knew how smart my team is. Especially in the last year and a half, it's like they have answered the call time and time again and done the seemingly impossible. And I wish that more people knew to tap into that resource, because a lot of the concerns and a lot of the trouble that teachers have had, especially in this virtual and remote and all the different things that we've had thrown at us in the last year or so. When I hear teachers talk about the things that they struggle with, I'm like, oh, but the DLCs could help you with that, right? And so I wish that people knew more and accessed more the talent of the DLCs that is intended to be in their classroom with them, co-teaching, coaching, co-planning with them. And so that's what I wish that people knew more about that. And I also wish that they knew the support that their school library media coordinators could give them, that's just also part of our team that we work with a lot. And then the work that we can help them with the digital resource product library and tools and things like that as well.
How about, what are some of the recent updates with the digital resource product library? I understand that there are quite a few.
Indeed. It's funny because there are some things that have changed lately, but I think the main thing that is different is just awareness that it exists and what you're supposed to be doing with them. So in fact, the expectations for the digital resource product library, which if you're not familiar with it, lives in your Wake ID portal. You couldn't make it go away if you wanted to. It's there for everyone so you can reference it. But in short, that shows you what tools you can use within the district, what their status is in terms of being reviewed for safety and things like that. It's always been an expectation that you check the digital resource product library before you purchase or use a product. However, what is different is that in the last year or so, we've really seen an uptick in cyber crimes and attacks on even K-12 environment. In fact, K-12 hacking attempts have gone up from about 28% of the worldwide totals of cyber incidents were in K-12 a year ago. But August, September of last year, that number skyrocketed to 57% of all cyber incidents were in the K-12 space. And so we're seeing a huge uptick in those sorts of attempts at gaining access to systems and data. And so we've partnered with finance, and that is new. And so now, the expectation has always been that you check it to make sure that what you're using is safe, so that we keep our kids' data safe, so we keep our systems safe. But now we've kind of stopped the money in the sense that finance has partnered with us so that you have to check it before you're able to make a purchase, either with a P card or a PO. And of course, PTAs are not supposed to be buying that stuff anyway, but that partnership is new. And so it's been really powerful for us to be able to ensure that we're keeping the resources that we give to our teachers, right, and that we put on our systems, that it's keeping our systems and our students and our staff data safe, right? So that's really huge for us. I know it's an extra step for a lot of people, but we feel better knowing that the climate and the landscape is changing, that we're able to provide those protections. So we're really happy about that partnership.
Yes, definitely. What is the best part of the Digital Learning and Libraries Department?
Yeah. I know we talked about this question, but best is hard because that means that there's one best thing. And yeah, we don't have time in this video for me to talk about all the things that make me happy, but I think I'd sum it up by just saying the partnerships and the collaborations that we have, both internally with our team. I feel like our team does a good job of keeping each other informed of what, we have a lot of feelers, if you will, out into other departments and other teams that we collaborate with. And I think we do a good job internally of trying to stay aligned. But to me, the best part of the work we do is when I can see the impact on other departments and processes that are happening, and I start to see light bulbs come on about the why we do this, right? And so that happens because of people who are dedicated to not put themselves first, but rather the work and the safety and the well-being and the support of our staff first. And so the people, without a doubt, are the best part of my job. As hard as it's been, watching people be resilient and still committed to helping teachers in the classroom and ultimately students through their work is the best part of my job, without question.
And what would you like to share in regards to any advice for all of us as we begin this next school year?
So two things. I think the first thing I would say is we know from the last year or so that things can just turn on a dime. And so the expectation this year that has been put out by academics and quite a few groups is that you do have a learning management system in place and updated with at least the basics of your contact information. This is where you can find your assignments so that if we have to, worst case scenario, to make a shift again, students and parents know where to go to find information for their teachers. That's the first thing, and that's just super practical. But then the second thing I think is a little more, a little less logistics, and that is that as a teacher, your worth is not quantified by the sum of the digital tools that you use, right? Or the new funny things that you found, or the shiny things, or your, something that really, maybe you didn't use 10 years ago, right? Or 5 years ago, or heck, even 3 years ago. But as a teacher, your strength is in your relationships with your students, and those come first. And those don't need to go through the digital resource product review library review, right?
Right.
I think just not leaning on tools and technical things for human interaction, which is what we need so much in this space right now, that would be what I would leave you with, is that as a teacher, your worth is so much more important at the human level than it is with your technological expertise or the apps that you have in your arsenal. So that's what I hope that we'll go into this year with, and that will carry us through.
So whether we're building our relationships virtually or face-to-face, relationships are the key.
Always. It's always the first thing.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yes. Glad to do it.